Today is January 6th, 2023, of course, the 2-year anniversary of one of the darkest days in American history, the January 6th Capitol riots. And it's important that we take this day and really be paying attention to this every day, but especially today, to not forget what these riots actually were. These riots were violent. They were extreme. They were just an attempted insurrection by people who showed no respect for law. They showed no respect for government. They showed no respect for even just basic human morals and values. This is a good compilation from the New York Times. It's showing all of these people who are violently pushing forward, pushing these signs and barricades with through police, even spraying them with pepper spray, bear spray. All of these heroic Capitol police officers who got injured on this day who put their lives on the line, and actually some of them dying, a few of them I think two of them dying on the scene and others dying from suicide, and many of them still say that they were affected by the trauma from stuff like this. You got people with hammers trying to storm up the stairs, you got people dragging down um police officers, all in the efforts to originally get to the Capitol, and then once they were inside, to stay inside and reach the location where lawmakers were. Just a total riot, running up the stairs, overrunning this building with flags, police doing the best they can, but just significantly outnumbered. And we cannot ignore the security failures that happened on this day, and we need to acknowledge them and make sure that it never happens again. And there's been some good work done by various agencies and government to ensure that the next time there's anything like this, that the Capitol is better prepared. We're seeing here Officer Eugene Goodman hailed as hero, and rightfully so, for this day. One man uh, with this crowd of around 100 people who notices the Senate totally unguarded and ends up luring the rioters back to a place where there's more police um, waiting for him, the reinforcements, as you can see on that map. Really heroic, because if those riders had gone through that unguarded door, who knows what would have happened if people were still inside. So Eugene Goodman can never be forgotten in American history for his actions on that day. And of course, the death that is gets the most fame, Ashley Babbitt trying to go through the door to reach house staffers that were evacuating, and get shot by a police officer who was brandishing his gun and had it out, and people were shouting gun, gun, gun. It was clear that she should not have tried to go through that point, did anyways, and as a result tragically lost her life. And then probably the most violent moment where they were trying to get through the inauguration doors, even with all these reinforcements that's happening later in the day, all these reinforcements with police. There were just so many people coordinated, pushing, 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 and getting through. This guy shouting in pain, being crushed between the door and the shield, with still these chemical sprays being used against them, and just the blood pressure and trauma, hundreds and hundreds of injuries, guys with tasers, sprays, stealing police shields, and being hit with crutches, hockey sticks, other people in baseball bats. We cannot forget what this day was. This day was a violent insurrection stoked by Republicans who believed the election was stolen. And all Republicans, no, definitely not. Most of them were quick to condemn in violence, but it all started from the top. Both people like Trump, who were saying that the election was stolen. Of course, there you have to look at actual laws and prosecution to see if he was actually bears any legal responsibility for that. That's still ongoing. I'm not saying it. I'm making an argument either way about whether he should be held responsible, but we still have to recognize that this effort, all all these people who believe that the election was stolen and that they were doing the right thing for democracy, and of course the actual organized extremisters, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, Three Percenters, who were present there, and this event helped them to achieve their goals of destroying the government and committing violence against this building. So despite all the revisionist history that's being done with people claiming that this was Antifa or it was actually peaceful or they were doing the right thing, we just cannot forget that what January 6th was. It's all on video. It was a violent insurrection against the United States government, and we can never ever forget the heroes from law enforcement and eventually the National Guard who were able to defend the building, keep everyone safe as best they could, and ultimately save democracy.